The industry is at a complete inflection point, right to there, where digital video, what we've been calling digital video, has now become a completely mainstream consumer medium. And so what we're seeing in this year's shows is that kind of utter self-confidence that comes from both buyers and sellers together, coming together and saying, we know that this is big, not in the future, but big right now. And I think there's kind of two tent poles that have now completely solidified, almost as pillars of the video industry. One is OTT. The message from all these shows is that over-the-top streaming in the living room is a mainstream medium for men, women, children of all ages, as Claude Kirshner used to say. So that's one tent pole. The other tent pole is mobile. It's the small screen. Oh, it's not in my pocket. It's over there, where that's also mainstream. Millions and millions and millions of people watching this on a regular basis, and so everybody now wants to be in on it. And the message from all the shows so far is, you've got to be advertisers, content creators. You've got to be in both these places. OTT for the living room, mobile for the rest of the day, or else you're nowhere.
Great, and then there's been some talk about the scope of it, the ambition, and we've heard, of course, a couple of folks have dropped out, a couple more people have joined you. It's a kind of a marathon in a sense. What are your thoughts about the scope of it and sort of, you know, the length of it and sort of the value of such a, you know, expansive program?
A couple things. One is, the only year companies did not drop out was the first year we started. Every year since, there have been multiple new entrants and multiple people leaving the marketplace. We've said from day one, this is a marketplace. It's not for everyone. It's going to be right for some, right for others, and they should deal with it in different ways. If you're a big, monstrous player like Hulu, you can fill Madison Square Garden, as Hulu did just this morning. If you're a newcomer, or if you're a repositioning incumbent, you may want to do a small dinner for your best clients, which, by the way, is exactly what AOL did last night, a dinner for its 60 top clients, which was also fantastic. That's been our message from day one. Nothing has changed. I think what's amusing is this same story in the press has been consistent too from the day the NewFronts started. Who needs a NewFronts, they ask. Who needs it? All I can say is, I used to write those stories myself in the New York Times about the broadcast upfronts. And guess what? Broadcast upfronts are still a really big thing, and the digital content NewFronts are still a really big thing. I think you can only reach one conclusion, is that people who write stories for the trade press are not buyers and not sellers, so they really don't know what they're talking about.
And Randy, what's some of the reaction you've gotten from some of the buyers?
A lot of excitement. We're seeing, I mean, we know just from the data that we've collected that we have more marketers who've actually shown up at real scale than ever before. I mean, I was sitting at the Awesomeness TV NewFront yesterday, and there was or actually I think it was the day before yesterday, and sitting next to me was a woman from Conagra who'd come in from Chicago with 5 members of the Conagra team being shepherded around by some of their agency leads from Starcom. And so we're seeing more and more and more of that. So there are what appear to be hundreds of primary buyers in these rooms now. And I think the big change, I was telling Karen List from the New York Times, you know, again, they led the week on Monday. I was telling her this morning that if I were to take the 5 or 6 years we've been doing this and divide it into segments, so the first couple of years was, oh my God, the dog can dance. The second couple of years were, wow, that dog can dance at Tarantella. And this year is, would you like to dance with the dog? Because if you don't, somebody else is going to. And that's where at the moment we're in now. It's really exciting.